Since opening their doors in 1905, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply has worked with Indiana homeowners and contractors to provide quality building materials. Today, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply proudly serves Indiana from their locations in Cherville, Valparaiso, Michigan City, and Lafayette. A department for every room in your home, from building support to bathroom kitchens and more. They can even help you design your next project. Visit VonTobels.com for more information. Von Tobel, building better together.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at Facebook.com/Region Sports, RSN, YouTube, RegionSports.com, and IHSAA-TV.com. We come to you tonight from the Brickyard on the campus of Hobart High School as Von Tobel Building Supply presents the Chesterton Trojans taking on the Hobart Brickies. I'm Michael Brenner here along with John Peddleston and Rick Novak. Gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you as we open the high school football season.
I'll tell you what, my wife says Christmas is the greatest time of year. I think it's high school football, Friday Night Lights. We're back, and it's going to be an exciting season, and we're ready to kick it off here tonight.
Yeah, great atmosphere here at the Brickyard, and it should be a good game. So.
This is a matchup we saw last year as well, week one, right here on the Region Sports Network. But that was over at Chesterton. A taste that Hobart wants to get out of their mouth a little bit, but Chesterton coming out of the gates last year, getting that big win against Hobart, like 35-20, and then losing the next four. So they want to get off to a little bit better start this year, finishing 5-6. Now that game, Josh, you and I had that call last year. That game was a little bit interesting in the sense that we thought it was going to be Sebastian Boswell to start. It ended up being Brady McCormick who ended up getting the start for Chesterton. But we are going to see Sebastian Boswell at quarterback today.
Yeah, I tell you what, Chesterton started out hot. I think they were up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Hobart got behind, and they just couldn't keep up last year. But I think with two different teams playing tonight.
All right, we're going to tune you into our national anthem here at Don Howell Field at the Brickyard. So we will bring you the national anthem here. Wonderful rendition of our national anthem brought to you by the Hobart High School band. We were talking about Chesterton coming out of the gates week one, and obviously getting that win is pivotal, Rick, for week one. You want to get that win. You want to do it in dramatic fashion at home, but then how do you maintain that success? What goes into getting that week two victory as well? I know we're not there yet. We got to get through this week one, but how do we get there?
I think it really comes down. I think it really comes down to taking what you saw here and sorry, technical difficulty there. I think it's taking what you see week one, which you didn't do so well, and making that your goal and your focus and practice to just improve those. It's a long season, and this is just week one, like you were saying, and every single week is an opportunity to get better. So just taking what you didn't do as well and trying to improve on that as much as you can.
And if you're Chesterton, you're kind of looking and saying, okay, we won 35-20. Okay, how do we translate that into week 2? But yeah, there are miscues in those first weeks. And I was talking to both coaches here before the game today, and both of them were kind of thinking, you know what, it's week 1. Anything can really happen in week 1, and it's really getting those butterflies out of the way those first few reps. For you, like, how long did it take before you finally settled into week 1?
Oh, man, well, you're taking me back there. It's been a minute, but I think it's maybe a quarter or so. I think, as soon as you really get out there, it's not just a scrimmage anymore. You're really hitting real. I think it kind of makes you up the pace and everything, and it takes maybe a little bit longer than just one play, obviously. But I think as soon as these guys come out here and start butting heads a little bit, they're going to start realizing that this isn't just the summer anymore, and it's for real.
All right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's usually in practice you're kind of, you think from a coach's standpoint, you think you got something going, and then you come out and you're playing an opponent, you're playing for real, playing for keeps, and so sometimes there's some first quarter, second quarter adjustments, personnel changes as well. You think you have something, you might not have it, or someone else is excelling a little better than others.
I would imagine there's got to be, first game jitters. You're maybe a little bit nervous. You don't want to make a mistake. But then some guys might come out there and be a little bit too amped up sometimes. They might get a little too excited and make mistakes and stuff like that. So we'll see how those nerves start to settle here as the Hobart Brickies get set to make their way onto the field. Hobart had a little bit different track, finishing this season 8-4 out of the year. I mean, not a bad season. Lost to Chesterton, as I said, week 1, and then losing to New Prairie in that sectional championship game. Tough one. I can only imagine. I wasn't with you for that one, Josh, but I can only imagine how you were feeling at the end of that one. But I mean, a good year, and now coming into a new year, I mean, both teams really making a lot of changes cosmetically to their offense. Yeah,
you're looking at, from a Hobart standpoint, you're losing Trey Gibson, who accounted for about 60 touchdowns over his 3 years and about 3,500 yards. So how do you fill that massive void on offense? And they got a young kid named Willie Shear who's going to take the bulk of the carries, I would imagine, and he's lightning in the bottom. He can take it the distance. He's a track star, super fast guy. So excited to see what he's able to produce as a junior running back.
Yeah, we're going to see new quarterback Johnny Swarnson make his Hobart debut here in week 1 as well. So it should be interesting, the transfer from Lake Central. So we're getting ready as the Hobart Brickies make their way onto the field over the ridge. One of the fun traditions in high school sports for sure. Many teams get to have that epic entrance.
Not many.
College football has those fun things that they may do at whatever stadium they're at, and the Hobart Brickies do a little differently here in the region. That's why they have one of the best fan bases around. That's for sure. I mean, the stands are packed here at Don Howell Field at the Brickyard.
I got a chicken wing from a guy out there tailgating earlier, so that was pretty exciting. I walked up and offered me a chicken wing. We got tailgate. You got Pop Warner night tonight at the Brickyard. You got fans packing this place, so it's an electrifying atmosphere for a high school football game.
Okay, so you had chicken. Okay, are you like a spicy chicken wing guy or just plain?
These were smoked chicken wings.
Oh.
So I was. You can't go wrong.
I got here too early. Apparently, is the problem. Did you get any chicken wings out there? No.
Actually not. I was making sure I was getting here. So.
Fair enough. So we're getting set for week 1 of the high school football season. Just about 30 seconds away. And we're going to see the Hobart Brickies and the Chesterton Trojans square off week 1. Seen this matchup a few times now. I did get a chance to see the officials pregame. I asked them politely to keep a lot of the flags in their pockets. That way this one gets on to a nice pace for game play.
Yeah, usually week 1, you never know, right? You sometimes everyone's getting used to the speed of the play. Sometimes they hold, jump off sides.
Right.
So there's a lot of variables that go into why there's usually a lot of penalties in week 1.
All right, we're just moments away from kickoff. The Friday night forecast brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast is a very comfortable 71 degrees at the moment. And Chesterton might have jumped off sides already. There's sending their kick team out there before they were even ready to flip the coin yet.
Yeah, they're raring to go.
I say they don't even know which direction they'd be kicking technically. We're gonna flip the coin here. It's Hobart and Chesterton. Or it looks like Hobart declines and Chesterton will receive.
I think we're unsure what Chesterton's going to run on offense. Brady McCormick will not be the starter tonight. Be Sebastian Boswell, and he's got an arm. He could throw the ball. He could spread it around a little bit. They also have a really good running back.
Yes, they have Garrett Lewis, rushed 123 times last year for over 700 yards and fighting the end zone 6 times, 5 times as a receiver. So altogether, make it 11 touchdowns on the year. Not too shabby for Garrett Lewis. So hope one of the first ones out on the field once this one is kicked away. As in our Friday night forecast, a very comfortable 71 degrees to open up the high school football season. A few clouds in the sky as the sun begins to set here in the beautiful city of Hobart, Indiana. And if you didn't any more reason to get hyped for the high school football season, you get a little Timmy Trumpets in there to get you going. This is no closing situation, though. We're in the season opener from Brickyard. Happy to have you with us.
The first kickoff, a lot of adrenaline. Sometimes the kickers get overzealous and put it right through the uprights.
You know, when we were covering the 10U Calrican World Series, I said if pitchers catch it off the screen, it should be out. If a kicker right off the bat on the kickoff gets it through the uprights from the 40-yard line there, give them 3 points.
They can do it in high school, I think so.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Give them some credit. All right, officials getting to their places. The ball has been set. Xander Langford to kick things away, and the high school football season is underway as it will be dropped and taken by Chesterton and down at the 15-yard line. Hayden DeMarco on the return to try to get that one. I saw him kicking pregame. I was getting a little nervous for a little while, but Hayden DeMarco takes the first one there, so we'll start for Chesterton at the 17-yard line officially to start things up.
I got the opportunity to talk to Coach Schreiber today. He's really high on his defensive line. He thinks they're ready to go. He's got a good group, the 3 guys down on the line. He thinks that they're going to give a lot of fits to the Chesterton offense. So
we've been curious as to what the offense may look like. Are we going to see more run? Are we going to see more pass? We're going to find out here from Coach Peterson and his Chesterton Trojans. So 1st and 10 from the 15.
The Wildcat.
It's the opening snap. Takes it on the run to start things up. Out across the 20. And officially down at the 21-yard line. So we'll see 2nd down coming up here.
It looked like they caught Hope in a defense or an offensive spread that the defense wasn't ready for. They were out in the Wildcat with Lewis taking the direct snap and just plowing ahead for a couple of yards.
Field too, as well, making the Hobart defense spread out to defend them.
Boswell in the position now where we normally see the quarterback is Lewis kind of getting in front of him to his right now. Boswell directing traffic. Here's the snap. Going to throw. Boswell steps up, goes to throw it down the field, and it is caught on the far sideline, right around the 40-yard line. Picked up on the 10, or out around the 40 by Garrett Lewis. So he makes the first run and now makes the first catch.
Yeah, they went empty again and hit Lewis on a wheel route. The Hobart defense line almost got there, but Boswell did a nice job stepping up and making the pass.
Yeah, the pocket presence was pretty amazing there. He stepped up. He had a long time to throw the football, and it's hard to cover a guy that long.
Clock is stopped with 1:05 to go. On the hard count, Boswell steps up, throws to his right, up the middle. Pass is complete. And taken down out around the 26-yard line. So Boswell gets the next Pass complete for Chesterton. Connor Hansen, the tight end, with that reception.
I tell you what, they're giving Hobart a lot of problems with that spread, max protect, and Boswell's got an absolute cannon back there. He hit that ball right between the numbers.
Yeah, it was good coverage, but just whipped it right in there. Perfect pass.
I think there's a team in Chicago looking for that kind of accuracy as well. May have a future. Here's the snap. Boswell looking to throw again. Pocket collapsing. He steps up. It's a fumble, but it's recovered on the field. Brady McCormick falls on that one. It won't be a loss of too much, actually. Not as bad as it could have been, all the way back to the 39. It could have been much worse if Hobart had picked it up.
Yeah, the pocket collapsed there pretty quick. He did a nice job stepping up, but as he was stepping up, he just let the ball go, and they're very lucky to get it back.
Hobart, the last two possessions on defense, Boswell had a lot of time. That time they brought pressure, and they got home on the pressure there. So I look for them to continue to bring pressure over the course of this drive.
So trying to get up to the 16-yard line, they fall all the way back to the 34 right now. Gives to McCormick, who juts ahead up to the 30. Nice stop there by the Bricky defense.
Yeah, now you're in 3rd and long, and they're kind of at the edge of field goal range. So if you stop here for very little gain, you probably get out of this drive with no points let up, which would be huge for them right now.
The senior Zach Bloom was in the tackle for the Brickies. So yeah, you are kind of in that borderline field goal range here. We'll see Alex Drews potentially here. We'll see with Sebastian Boswell. He's been good so far, minus that drop. Here's the snap. Stepping up, looking to his left, throws to his left, has a man wide open. He's down and just shy, a yard shy of that first down marker. That was Connor Hansen again. Down to the 17-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Hobart's going to have to bring pressure. They're not going to be able to match 3-on-5 because Boswell has all day to throw the football. So they're going to have to start dialing up a little different pressure to pin their ears back and come. Because he had time, patter his feet, and then he was able to find the guy open near the first down marker.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Based from my vantage point, it looked like he was kind of targeting towards that left side the entire time. Didn't really have to check down too much. Just waited for that play and his receiver to get to where he wanted him to be. Handoff. The yard is picked up by Lewis, and it'll be a first down out just shy, maybe right at the 11-yard line it looked like. So it's going to be a first down, a big pickup for the Chesterton offense as the time continues to wind down here in this opening quarter.
Lewis is a big guy at 200 pounds, and getting that 1 yard, he's hard to stop. He's a very versatile player for them, but when you need that 1 yard, he can be very physical.
Tell you what, that's a backbreaker for a defense. You got him in 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, and they get a big chunk on 3rd down, convert 4th down.
The live formation here. Lewis off to the right. Handoff. And we will see our first set of laundry on the field here. So McCormick was to the right, excuse me. Lewis got the handoff, but we'll see what the infraction is here. As we have our first piece of yellow laundry that someone threw out into the field.
Hey, we made it 4 minutes.
Looks like maybe a chop block call against Chesterton, so that's going to back him up a little bit here. Obviously, when you have it in the back of your head, it's 3rd and 16, and we can still convert and get the first down. You're not too worried about getting too far here, as it's still going to be first down. They're still backing him up a little bit here as the official making that long walk back a number of yards.
Pushing them right back to like that kind of edge of field goal range again. So Hobart's defense, they've given up big back-breaking plays, but Chesterton shot themselves in the foot a couple times here.
So at the 26. Maybe a mark at the 25, and now we're going to see an offsides. So back-to-back penalties for Chesterton, and this is, as you mentioned, you know, that's shooting yourself in the foot. We saw that last year. Both teams kind of had those instances. But again, first game of the season, you're only a few minutes in. Those kind of those jitters. You're thinking Chesterton, okay, we're looking at our chops. We're all the way downfield here. Let's get this thing running.
And you got a long drive, first drive of the season. I'm sure they're a little gassed. That fatigue plays a factor into it. Some of these guys haven't come off the field yet. In the first play, they're coming down from that adrenaline dump, if you will.
So it'll be 1st and 30 now. From the 30-yard line, Boswell to the right. Lewis able to catch it on that one, gets stuffed just to be on the 30, but the one-handed catch to keep hold of that one to try to get some yardage from Lewis. What a catch there.
Yeah, a nice one just to be able to get at least a couple yards out of that. You're still pushed way back, but at least some positive yardage on first down.
Especially near that borderline and field goal territory. They want to obviously get as close as they possibly can. If they don't find the end zone, the goal is to find the end zone, though. 5 wide receivers spread out, 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom. This one going towards the end zone. Lewis trying in the back of the end zone. Great coverage out there by the Brickies defense. And Kale Schlosser out there on the coverage to make sure Lewis did come up with those first points of the year for Chesterton. And just like that now, we're in 3rd down 26 territory. I know every coach has a play call for 3rd and 26.
Usually these are screen plays.
Yeah.
Get the defense pinning their ears back, which they're coming.
This time it's a 4 wide receiver set. Boswell looks downfield, moves up, passed up the middle, and it is incomplete. Looks like number 1, Alex Santucci, the intended receiver, but he got walloped right away as he was receiving that one.
I got to tell you, Sebastian Boswell's pocket presence is second to none right now. The way he's moving around and keeping his eyes downfield is pretty impressive for a high school quarterback.
And he really put that ball right where the receiver needed it. It was just double coverage, and he took a big hit. He couldn't hang on, but the pass itself was perfect, too.
Looks like they're going to try to go for it on 4th down, if not trying to draw the defense off sides. We'll see here.
A pooch punt.
So Boswell puts it in the air, and that one is going to hang out around the 5-yard line, so we'll have a change of position. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 50 years, family-owned Budd Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Budd Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at buddinsagency.com. Certified financial planner Tim.
Got another commercial started. Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network, presented by Von Tobel Building Supply. Hobart with their first possession of the season. And it's going to be a big play, big yardage play out across the 25. A huge pickup to start the day for Willie Shear. Josh, you mentioned it before. He's going to be huge on the running game.
I told you it's like lightning in a bottle with Willie Shear. He's a track star. He can run. And saw a little daylight, bounce it outside, and had a massive gain there.
Not just the speed, the balance. He kept his balance after a couple hits, picked up some extra yardage.
So first down here. This one out across the far side of the field before getting knocked out of bounds. Look like TJ Caldwell on the possession there. So we'll have second down coming up here.
Little jet sweep to him. He's really fast. I like getting him the ball like that. Making the defense at least respect the jet sweep so you can pull it out later, maybe hit a pass off of it.
I talked to a couple of different coaches down on the Hobart sideline just talking about how this offense might look here. And both coaches referencing TJ Caldwell and the ability he might have here. It's quarterback keep here. Sorensen moves out across. It's going to be right at the first down marker. They're going to give him an extra yard. So it's going to be a first down as Sorensen, who rushed 12 times last year over at Lake Central for 58 yards, gets his started with a first down pickup. Sorensen looks to move to his left. He's going to tuck, and he's going to get taken down out across the 35, and it's going to be right back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like maybe a loss of 1, according to the near side official. So it's a loss of a yard here.
Hobart's going up tempo. They have an extremely fast offense with Swanson, Shear, Caldwell. So they're trying to get the defense sleeping.
So second and 12. This one getting airmailed down the field for Caldwell, just off the fingertips. And you can see why the coaches are high on him. He just came off the fingertips, but the burst speed was pretty impressive.
Playing man coverage on him, I think you're playing with. On those go routes, he is really difficult for anybody to cover, and I mean he was open there a little bit past him on the ball, but you know that was almost 6.
That would have been an impressive play to start things up here in 2023. Still shy of first down. It's going to be up to 44. He's trying to make it to 48. He's going to have 4 more yards to go, but the problem is it's 4th down.
When you run fast like that, it's hard to get the communication in. That's a big 3rd down play right there. And they only had 10 guys on the field. They made some substitutions. I don't know if they knew Caldwell came off the field after that long pass. But started a promising drive, and now they're forced to punt.
First game, you're going fast. Sometimes those mental mistakes happen, and it costs them on 3rd down.
Well, both coaches said these first few plays, they're going to be feeling each other, the other coaches out to see what kind of offense they're going to be running. Kind of a short punt here. This one going to take a bounce at about the 30 and roll for a little while out to the 25-yard line. We're going to keep it here with 4:34 to go. I think the tempo for both teams has been pretty good so far, but so far maybe just a few minor mistakes that are kind of costing both sides.
Yeah, you saw Chesterton had a nice drive to start, but a few penalties really kind of bit him in the ankle. And then now Hobart, 10 guys on 3rd down, and you can't make those kind of mistakes. But again, his first game of the year is your first drive. It's almost to be expected. I know Coach Azika is probably not happy about it, but I'm sure he was expecting this game not to go perfectly.
Both coaches were pretty high on their teams coming into today's action. 3 wide receivers set, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. The handoff is to Lewis. He's going to jut ahead, get up maybe 2 yards here on the gain.
Now we're something, and so now we'll get back into kind of what the meat and potatoes of what both teams want to run.
Yeah, both teams have had a drive now, so we'll see what changes here on the second drives for both teams here. 4:03 left to go in the opening quarter here, opening night of the high school football season. We're happy to have you with us. We'll have 4 wide receivers on this route, 3 at the bottom or the near side of the screen, 1 at the top. We'll see Boswell's looking. Looks to his left, now checking it down. He's going to tuck and run, and he's going to get a big play. But there's going to be laundry on the field all the way to the 40, 30, and he's going to be taken out around the 20-yard line. But there was a flag on the field all the way back at about the 26-yard line. And it looks like they're going to be bringing it back. There's going to be holding, it looks like.
Penalties are not good anytime, but they're worse when they bring back an explosive play. And maybe that's why it was an explosive play. You know,
right.
That argument. Boswell did a great job stepping up in that pocket again, found a little crease for a huge hole, but maybe the holding is why they're.
I'm sure that's going to create a nice lane of opportunity there, so it's going to back him up a little bit.
When you're in the pocket that long, from an offensive lineman standpoint, it feels like an eternity. And so sometimes the guy moves, quarterback moves, the defender goes one way or the other, and you just grab a little bit too much jersey.
Make sure you stay with us after the game, as we will have the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game to award. The Crowd Company's proud to recognize the superheroes on football field, on the gridiron. New turf here at Hobart at the Brickyard.
Looks good.
We'll have a 5 receiver set now. Play clock was down to 7. Boswell looks to throw to his left. Pass is dropped and incomplete at the 20-yard line. Well, the intended receiver on that one.
They're calling it a completion.
Oh, the Austin catch. Okay.
It's the official's first time as well.
Well, it looked like I thought I saw the ball hit the ground. Don't get me wrong. He's closer to the field. I trust him more than I trust myself.
Chesterton likes that empty formation so far. They've ran it a couple times here, so we'll see.
They stand at the 20. 3rd down and 15. Boswell steps up, has time, down the field, and there's not going to be any flag down there. There's a flag as it lands out across the 30. It was Garrett Lewis who was looking for one. The official downfield says no. The near side official says, okay, I'll throw it. And now, we had a great kind of start to both series where there wasn't a whole lot of too many penalties to slow the momentum down a little bit, but now you're down to 2:49, and it feels like this first quarter has been dragging on for forever.
It's kind of sloppy here. Again, first quarter of the season. Some guys probably on these teams that it's their first varsity action. That's going to bring a whole new level of nerve to it as well. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet. So it's to be expected. They've been pretty impactful penalties for both teams so far.
And this one's a big one against Hobart as it gives Chesterton the first down.
Kind of ride those waves throughout the course of the game.
It's kind of like baseball. It's either going to go fair or foul. So 1st and 10 here, 2:49 to play. Here's the handoff. Lewis trying to gut to it right there. Finds a hole. Gets across the 45 before being knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be a 10-yard run for Garrett Lewis.
Yeah, it was a great cut there. He cut it back, bounced it outside, and Boswell threw a great block that actually sealed the edge for him there. So, your quarterback willing to do the dirty work, you got to love to see that as a coach.
Yeah, and from a defensive linebacker standpoint, those plays are so hard because flow's going one way and Lewis cuts back across the grain. It's hard to stop and change direction.
1st and 10 again from the 45 this time. Give it to Lewis. He gets across midfield and back in Hobart territory go the Trojans.
There's not much, wait for the hole with him. He's just going straight downhill, and sometimes with a guy that size, that can be hard to stop.
It's going to create the hole that you're looking for. Clock continues to wind down here, just under 2:10 to play. 2nd and 5. Handoff. And getting across the 45 again to the 44-yard line, so that'll be a pickup of 6 yards and another Trojan first down. They've been pretty good today getting those first downs.
That was another nice run. You had some penetration there from the Hobart defense, and he kind of put his foot in the ground, make a little cut to his right, and got the first down.
It's kind of a cat and mouse game. You just wonder when the coach is going to settle in and say, this is our bread and butter. We're just going to run the ball. We're having success, so we're going to continue to exploit what they feel are Hobart weaknesses.
Great. How hard is it as a coach, from your guys' perspective, to make those adjustments, to read the plays as quickly as they need to and make those in-house adjustments? It can't happen at the halftime. It has to happen during games as well.
Well, I think it takes a team. Both coaching staffs have guys up here in the booth that are watching everything and communicating things, and it's not good. It's one guy can't do it all, so it takes the whole coaching staff. And
Give Lewis finds a hole. One tackle to beat. He's got a few more. He keeps jumping ahead inside the 10. What a run, Garrett Lewis. As the clock will stop with 45.9. And they're inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
Sometimes when you bring that pressure from the outside, you make the middle vulnerable, and that's what Chesterton's doing. They're exploiting the middle of the field here.
Yeah, Hobart only 3 guys down. When you're kind of light like that with guys with their actual hand in the ground, you can be susceptible to just straight ahead power running. And right now,
just under 30 seconds to go here. Give us to Lewis. He jets ahead and is up to the 5-yard line, so picks up 2, and that will likely be the final play of the opening quarter. So if you're Hobart and you've got a bad taste in your mouth from last year, well, this is certainly a better start because, as you pointed out, Josh, it was 14-0 at the end of one. So certainly a better score. Obviously, you wanted to put points on the board. Both teams wanted to put points on the board, but it's 0-0 with Chesterton knocking on the door. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, brought to you by Von Tobel Building Supply. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Grange at the Clock Tower is a place to gather in downtown Hobart before or after a Brickies win. Whatever meal you are in the mood for, you can find it at Granger's. Owned by a Brickie family, Granger's also offers an aesthetically pleasing indoor setting, along with an outdoor section overlooking the beautiful Lake George. Check out one of Hobart's highest rated restaurants, located at 437 East 3rd Street in Hobart, and they're open 7 days a week. Visit their Facebook page for daily specials and events. Granger's at the Clock Tower, a good time.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We start the second quarter. Chesterton working towards getting their first score of the game. So we'll see what happens here on the first play of the second quarter. Give it to Lewis. Lewis juts ahead. And they're going to say he's just shy of the goal line. So we will see 3rd and goal here. It'll be at the 1-yard line. And we were talking off air, you know, what kind of change do you want to see really early on here? And you're thinking, Rick, maybe put 4 guys on the line as opposed to 3.
Well, just right now on goal line, 3 has really not been good stopping the run, especially in these short yardage situations. So maybe just put more beef, but it looks like Hobart has done that here.
Play clock winding down to 7. Lewis. No indication quite yet, but the Hobart players think they have it. We haven't seen any indication from our officials quite yet. They're going to huddle together. This gives us time to mention that we will have a Proud Union Home Play of the Game 2 award brought to you by IKORCC, the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Still no indication, and it's going to be 4th down. So Chesterton with another opportunity to try to bring the score up. They're asking everyone to stop the clock and restart some stuff here. 10:56 to go in the opening quarter. Now they can begin the play clock. Boswell steps up right behind the line under center. Got to do a little quarterback sneak, and we have a touchdown. Chesterton gets the first touchdown of the season. Sebastian Boswell from 1 yard out.
Kind of walked up a little late and just took a sneak straight up the gut. If you've watched the NFL this past year, it's reminiscent of the Philadelphia Eagles. They were so dominant on quarterback sneaks, just having, you know, Jalen Hurts, in case Boswell, taking 2 guys behind him, pushing it. Very hard to stop, especially with 1 yard to go.
Yeah, it's called. Sometimes they call it the goose and go. You just come up and the quarterback just lifts his hands and there's no cadence, nothing. It's just go. It's real hard to defend.
Drews with the extra point, and it is 7-0 in favor of the Trojans. We'll step aside. You're watching Game Day on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to game night here on the Region Sports Network, brought to you by Von Tobel Building Supply. 7-0 Chesterton here in the second quarter. And Chesterton will kick things away here. Drew's a little squib kick here. Picked up at the 30 for Hobart and taken down at about the 34-yard line. That was like number 36 for the Brickies.
Mason Jackson.
Mason Jackson, you are correct, sir. Thank you.
Chesterton must recognize the speed of Willie Shear and TJ Caldwell, both explosive guys. They honored to kick it short and play defense.
That's going to be good field position to start for Hobart. I mean, 34-yard line. I mean, you got to like it.
So Hobart with their second possession of the season here. Handoff here on the play, so it looks like it's going to be right at that line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down and 10. Connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game, it's the Hose Connection halftime report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. It's back, baby. Give again. This time, jumping ahead, Willie Shear for a couple of yards.
That's a play they're going to circle on film tomorrow, and Willie Shear, like I said earlier, lightning in a bottle, so offensive line's got to continue to stay on their blocks.
So at the 37 now, third down and 7. Sorensen moves to his left, pocket collapses quickly. Pass is complete on the far side of the field. Connor Stafford on the reception out there, but it's not going to be good for a first down, so we'll see fourth down here.
Went with a little roll out there, but they had the pressure off the edge, Chesterton did, and Hope just couldn't pick it up. Forced a quick throw, and just not enough time to really get anything going downfield.
Xander Langford will kick things away.
I tell you that when you're playing a big school like Chesterton and you're on a hurry-up offense, you go 3 and out, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense to turn around and play defense again while Chesterton's fresh.
Langford gets it away. And with a fair catch call at the 20 for the Trojans. That is Connor Hansen for the Trojans. So we will turn things around here, and we'll go back to the Trojan offense, which we've seen a decent amount here already in this first half. We got one more award we're going to hand out at the conclusion of this one, and that's the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about our apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. So first and 10 from the 21 for the Trojans. Boswell already with the early touchdown to get things started here in 2023. Keeps. And things are collapsing quick, and he runs into a heap of defense from the Brickies. I say a brick wall.
Went a little boot. Unfortunately, there was 2 guys from Hobart coming right off the edge, unblocked into the boot. Did a decent job stepping up to make the loss not as much as it would have been, but still not enough there. I mean, the defensive coordinator for Hobart, Eric Driver, had the perfect call right there.
It's a loss of... And we have a whistle and probably a little movement on the line. Nope, they're going to be a false start for the offense, so it's going to bring them back a little bit more. All the way down to the 10-yard line.
If you're Hobart, that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, these penalties for Chesterton, I mean, while they have the lead on the scoreboard, it feels like there is potential that they could be up a little bit more.
The Hobart defense has caught some breaks. I mean, right now you're at a 2nd and 20 position. Got Chesterton backed up. You stop them here, you can flip the field and maybe get your offense going a little bit.
2nd and 21 for the Trojans. Gives to Lewis, who finds some yards after the original tackle. And gets up maybe just shy of that 15, or maybe right at the 15 it looks like. So
I'll tell you what, they ask Lewis to do a lot. Run the ball, catch the ball, start out in the Wildcat, play a quarterback. He's quite the athlete.
Well, there's a reason he had 11 touchdowns total, 6 on the rush, 5 on receptions. He had 18 receptions last year for 325 yards and then 123 rushes for over 700. It is intercepted. Trying to find his way back. He's going to be taken down out across the 35. And the pick.
Looked like a little mix-up on the receivers. Boswell double pumped like he didn't know where he wanted to go, and then he threw it. And Aiden Leonard with the interception.
It looked like Aiden Leonard with the pick.
We talked about both teams making some mistakes, and there was a big mistake by Chesterton. Now Hobart, you've got to take advantage of this kind of mistake. This is a huge momentum swing in the game, and you can go and tie this game now. And if you take some time off the clock, don't let Chesterton get the ball back with too much time. You get the ball to start the second half, and then all of a sudden it's a whole new ball game.
So we've seen some penalties that could be costly. This is very costly for Chesterton right now. We'll see what ends up happening as a result of it.
I tell you, these teams took a shot. TJ Caldwell to the end zone maybe here. See if Sorensen from Hobart can get it there. And, sometimes defense is overzealous, and you can take these are opportunities, sudden change.
7:39 to go here in the opening half.
I think you had a block at the back on the interception return.
So it's going to push back to the 47. It's a good pick by you, Mr. Novak. Glad to have you guys here with me, because you guys are more of the football knowledge than I'll ever be, 100%.
You're too kind.
I'm just here for looks. Sorensen looking to step up, moves in the pocket, gets tackled out across midfield. This is one of the issues that we might see. I mean, the pocket presence he saw, he had nothing downfield, started to run, just got hit from behind.
They looked for that sudden change play. That was very good.
Chesterton came with some pressure as well, sped it up a bit, collapsed the pocket. Sorensen did a nice job stepping up. There was nothing there.
2nd and 11 now. Sorensen looking to run again. He got a hole this time out across the 40, and he's going to be taken down right at the 39-yard line, it looks like. One official said 40, one said 39. They're going to give him the 39, and just like that, you're down to just needing 2 yards.
You got to assume this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, when you're in the opposing territory. That's kind of the new thing in football now, is going for it on 4th down. Give off to the left. Shear finds the first down and more. And adds a little bit more even after the initial tackle. So he's taking off. Wait, to about the 25-yard line over there for the... I'm sorry?
He fumbled the ball forward.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
we're just straight on, but his cutbacks, he's very laterally quick.
So 1st and 10 from the 27. Cuts right through the middle, gets across the 20 before he's taken down. And they're going to give it to him right, maybe about an inch shy of the 20. Maybe. I think they're just going to give him the 20-yard line here.
Chesterton wasn't respecting the wing back there, tight end type position. Maybe a tight end seam up the middle here is exploit the middle of that field.
You're Hobart, you're looking the answer. You get the interception, and you're making a good couple play calls here to get yourself downfield. after the touchdown from Chesterton.
Caldwell's one-on-one at the bottom.
Give us Shear again out across the 20. Takes it down to the 19, so we'll see third down here now.
Hobart likes to pull the guard and tackle, and Chesterton's barreling down on that.
We saw Sorensen pull one on read option earlier in the drive. Maybe you go back to that.
3 wide receivers, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top for the Brickies. Sorensen looking to throw up the middle. Pass is caught for a Brickie touchdown. T.J. Caldwell. From 19 yards out, the Brickies get an answer.
Right where he needed it, and it looked pretty easy because Caldwell's got that kind of speed. He's got that kind of route running ability where he's really an elite receiver, and he showed it to you right there.
Talking about the middle of the field there, Sorensen did a good job staying firm in the pocket while pressure was barreling down on him. Delivered an absolute strike to Caldwell.
PAT is up and good from Langford. The holder was Schlosser. The long snapper, Luke Granzo. So we go into the second quarter here with just over 5 minutes left to go. We're all knotted up at 7. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network.
Stadiums, hospitals, and bridges. Everywhere you look, Union Carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a Union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
5:03 left to go here in the second quarter between the Brickies and the Trojans. Brickies just getting the first score of the season, and they will kick this away, and Chesterton will take over offensively. That is DeMarco with the reception. Nice return to the 25 before he's stopped there. So Chesterton will take over. We've seen Chesterton with some nice drives already early here in the first half, but some costly things here and there.
Yeah, they've really shot themselves in the foot multiple times with penalties. I think this drive for them is really important. If they go 3 and out here, Hobart's going to get the ball. They've got some momentum on offense, and they get the ball to start the second half. If Chesterton can't get some things going right now, they could have some problems.
Yeah, the big Mo right now on the side of the home team. Chesterton wants to get that back on their side. So Boswell with 4 wide receivers, 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom here. Steps back, moves ahead now, and is tackled for a loss. Lost the ball. And it looks like Chesterton was able to recover it, but it's down at the 20, so it's a loss of 5 on the play. 4 losses in a row. Would like to change that momentum, get a solid win here if they can, and then continue, good momentum into week 2. One of the things that they're going to be working on over the course of the next week is fixing some of these penalties that they've had. This one was obviously just a loss of a play. As Boswell makes a throw. Pass is picked up by McCormick, trying to get some ground ahead. Lowers the shoulder and gets some positive yardage here. About a 10-yard pickup here, right around the 30, maybe just shy of the 30.
It's a great play call when you know Hobart's bringing pressure. The screen is the counter to the pressure, and you almost invite all the guys in and then hit that screen pass behind them, and they got a big chunk of yards there.
At the Brickyard. Boswell gives up quickly here, and Lewis is stopped with a gain of 2. So it'll be short. They are not going to risk going for it on 4th down. Special teams will come out onto the field.
Interesting call running the ball there. I mean, they came out in split backs, 2 guys in the backfield with Boswell. Maybe that was their plan, you know. Hey, let's not risk passing here and give them the ball back with like a little bit more time left on the clock. Let's try to maybe, you know, if we get the first down, perfect. If not, we'll run the clock, kick the ball deep.
And we've seen a timeout call, so we'll step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Yes.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Welcome back to Game 9 on the Region Sports Network. Just under 3 minutes left to play here. Chesterton will kick this one away here on 4th down. Unless we see some trickery. Drews will kick this one away. Out across midfield, and this will stay inbounds and roll to about the 40-yard line. So it's going to be right at the 40, says the official. So if you're Hobart here, you've got just under 3 minutes, about 2:49, to try to get yourself a touchdown drive here. Maybe leave a little time on the clock if you can.
Chesterton's plan really didn't work out very well right there. So, yeah, you're thinking touchdown right here. You're thinking end zone. Let's get this, then get 2 for 1, get the ball to start the second half, and put it in the end zone again.
I think if you're Hobart, you'll take a touchdown whether it comes on the first play or the 10th play.
Yeah. Let's keep that momentum on their side. Sorensen back in action for the Brickies. Looking pretty good here in game 1. Moving to his right, throws, and passes complete on the near sideline. Aiden Leonard kind of sprinted to the sideline, giving Sorensen an opportunity. Yeah, it'll be a first down out at the 44-yard.
Strong throw there by Sorensen.
There's the fake, run to the left, has to cut back to the right, and will lose yardage on this play up to the 48-yard, or back to the 48-yard line, so a loss of 4 on the play.
That play didn't look good from the beginning. The defense was moving, the offense was kind of trying to get set, and resulted in a 5-yard loss.
So second down now. Sorensen looking to throw up the middle. Pass is incomplete. There's a flag.
I'll tell you what, with our circle on that play and looking to come back to it.
And this is going to be
pass interference.
Yeah, this is going to be against the Trojans. So Hobart with a gift here. We saw that interception go positive for the Brickies, and now interference by the Trojans is going to allow the Brickies back into another situation where kind of on that border between the field goal line and what, but now you're 1st and 10 from the 34. Shear trying to turn the corner, gets tackled across the 35. Clock will continue to run as he stayed inbounds. So we're under 2 minutes to go, about $1:50 left to go in his first half.
Hobart having another first down. They did a great job right there stringing that run along for 0 yards, but big penalties for the Trojans.
Throw to the left, pass is caught. Nowhere to go afterwards.
looked like the RPO, run pass option there. It looked like Sorensen pulled it and was able to hit Stafford for short gain. That's a play that the quarterback kind of has the ability and authority to make the decision on his own.
So Brickies call a timeout. We'll keep it right here with 1:22 left to go. Connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game. It's the Host Connection halftime report presented by Host Connections. We'll check in with Mike Jamia and Jack Theo from the Centurion Bank studio. They'll bring you all the scores and highlights from the games around the region. That's all from the Centurion Bank studio. I know those guys have a good time over there in the Centurion Bank studio. I'm going to ask Mike Jamia over-under on how many fast food wagers are made with Skibbs, who's updating our Strick and Van Til hometown scoreboard. Usually there's always kind of a fast food wager over the course of an evening.
Pop Warner night at the Brickyard. The
yes,
little Brickies get to come on the big field and showcase a little talent under the lights at halftime. That's an exciting time for those kids.
This is a football crazy town. It's one of the
just
best
a little
region,
bit.
that's for sure.
All right, 1:22 to go. Sorensen keeps, throws down the field. Here's Coldwell, but it's popped out. It was in his hands. It popped out.
He had him. He was open. Ball kind of just fluttered a little bit, let the DB kind of recover, and he punched it out the most. He still had it away from his body a little bit, trying to bring it back in, and big play by that Chesterton DB, because that would have been a first down.
Yeah, it looked like Chase Dahlboss there. Standing up and helping the Trojans there. 4th and 8. Sorensen runs ahead. He's going to have room to run. There's a flag on the play, though, and he is going to be tackled across the 20. There's going to be a flag immediately on the play. He had a lot of room to run. There may have been a hold. Yep, that's going to be against the Brickies. So, as you mentioned earlier, Rick, if there's usually a hold for a guy to run that many yards, the same thing happened to Boswell on the other side. Probably was a reason for that giant hold for the quarterback to run.
It's tough. I mean, he had a lot of daylight. The middle of the field there again was wide open, and now with that, Hobart's probably going to have to punt. After the penalty, probably going to be out of field goal range. So it's a pretty back-breaking penalty right there for the Brickies, where you potentially could have gone up, taken it into half. So again, the story of this game so far, we've mentioned it over and over again, is just the mistakes and the penalties for both these teams, just trying to get their bearings on this season.
Trying to get the clock to run. Nobody in the press. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Bounce and take a Hobart roll a little bit, but he kind of just dies right there on the turf. Would have liked to have a little bit more of a roll if you're the Brickies, but Chesterton with just under a minute now with a chance to at least put a drive together here, trying to build some momentum going into the half. We'll see what they have.
You never know, right? Are they going to just be happy with the tie ball game, or are they going to see what Boswell has in kind of the 2-minute offense? First game, sometimes non-conference game, you may, we have nothing to lose, or you may just say, let's get into halftime, let's regroup.
They have 3 timeouts, but you got to take it 85 yards here. I'd be surprised if they went and tried to do something, but we'll see.
Like the NFL, first downs, the clock does stop in high school football and in college.
Yes.
Actually, I think they just changed the rule in college.
Find out in a few weeks. 1 out. I mean, so this first half, it's been interesting, right? I mean, we've seen some sloppiness. We've seen some great plays made, some great opportunities for both teams. Both teams really playing well and executing well for the most part and getting through some of the sloppiness. But other than that, I mean, it's been a decent, balanced game.
I think it's been sloppiness at pretty important times that has made it this way. I mean, look, it's a lot harder to play offense than defense, in my opinion. You have 11 guys working. You have to have that on defense, but defense is a little bit more reactive. Offense is a lot of teamwork, and it takes a lot of repetition. And the first game, getting it out there, it can be tough. So we've seen a little bit of
It's going to take the knee and then got hit at the end.
I tell you, this game hasn't had any flow to it. Typically in a game you can kind of get a flow, but this game's kind of been an odd game with penalties, big plays getting called back, crucial 3rd and 4th downs being converted, called back by penalties. It's been a really odd game to say the least.
So we'll see how the second half adjustments play a factor. Will we see a little bit more cohesiveness to both these teams? We're going to step aside. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since opening their doors in 1905, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply has worked with Indiana homeowners and contractors to provide quality building materials. Today, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply proudly serves Indiana from their locations in Cherville, Valparaiso, Michigan City, and Lafayette. A department for every room in your home, from building support to bathroom kitchens and more. They can even help you design your next project. Visit vontobels.com for more information. Von Tobel, building better together.
I feel like Hobart hasn't ran the ball like barely ever. Yeah, I mean, it's been a very weird game. Still using some success this
Little cold man.
You are watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Michael Brenner here along with Rick Novak, Josh Huddleston. And gentlemen, we saw it was an interesting first half of football, one that you might expect for week one of the high school football season, as we're also seeing little Pop Warner guys out there.
Yeah, I think I just saw number 71 here on the 50-yard line doing the gritty. So he's happy to be out there.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I want to know, what is your gritty skill level on here? Can you do that?
I cannot do the gritty.
No?
I mean, I could try. But
What dance moves can you do? I'm curious.
The sit down.
Rick, how about yourself?
Never been a dancer.
He just doesn't want to answer the question. All right, we'll move on.
Yeah.
I mean, an interesting game. It's 7-7 here at the half. It's been penalties galore. We had a viewer point out that it's been 7 against Chesterton. It's an unofficial number. I haven't been keeping track on the numbers, but 7 total flags, 6 against Chesterton at one point. It's a little lopsided. I don't think that's necessarily because we're favoring one team or another. It's just, shooting yourselves in the foot at some points or another, and then, costing yourself and not making certain plays.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's the
Joe.
timing of the penalties, I think.
Yeah,
It's not just the sheer volume. I think it's the timing at critical times, taking themselves out of field goal range, taking themselves out of, good positions and so on and so forth. But, yeah, so I think it's it's been a kind of a sloppy game.
That's to be expected week one, right? I mean, did you really think going in this is going to be played as if this was week 4 of the season?
No, I don't think so. I think, penalties are to be expected, but to Josh's point, you don't want them in those critical moments. I think when you're getting multiple penalties happening on plays that are either explosive plays or you're giving teams first downs where they might have been in third or fourth down, those are back-breaking penalties. Coaches understand that penalties are going to happen throughout a game, but you don't want those really game-breaking penalties that can actually go into affecting the outcome of a game.
The other thing, too, is I think both teams lost some critical seniors at some positions. I know Chesterton lost some guys on the O-line. And just trying to get that mesh together type, kind of working together. And Hobart on the other side, losing, a good portion of their offense or a large portion of their offense and just kind of getting some transfers in. And just how does that mesh together? And sometimes that might take a quarter, 2 quarters, or an entire game.
Right. Absolutely.
Both these teams aren't going to be the same team from now to the regular season. I mean, football is one of those games you don't really start seeing what you're really good at until you play a couple games. And you get guys you put guys in positions to start the year and you think they're going to be great at them. But sometimes when you actually get out there, it might not be the right fit, and you tweak things around a bit and you get guys in the right positions, and then you really start seeing things click.
I think one of the things that was complicated for both coaches coming into this game is neither one of them really had any clue. Sometimes you might go into a game and have an idea of what a coach might use based on the personnel that they have returning. Neither one of these coaches really knew. I asked both of them, and both of them gave me kind of diplomatic answers. Neither one of them knew what the other coach was going to do, so they didn't even know. They had an idea of what they were going to do coming in, but maybe they didn't know how they were going to have to make changes over the course to try to get to what they do best.
So I think there's 2 schools of thought here. I think sometimes when you go into a game plan, you say, this is what we do, regardless of what the offense or defense does. This is our identity. Both of these teams are pretty talented and pretty skilled that they could kind of mend and change things on the fly. So, kind of taking what the offense or defense gives you, if you will. So I think both coaches kind of the scrimmages that we talked to them, they didn't get to really do as much as they wanted to do during the scrimmages. So both teams were really unsure of what the other team was going to do, both offensively and defensively.
There's only so much film on both these teams right now. The only film that both these coaches had were, I'm going to guess, the scrimmage of the other teams.
Correct.
So they hadn't had film even of them in an actual live game. So when you don't actually have anything to really study on, you can watch the film from last year, but it's 2 different teams. You are going to be guessing there is an element of guessing that it comes with the first game. But now they've got one half under their belts. I'm sure they're looking at the iPads back there, seeing what's going on. And maybe we're going to see something a little bit different here, but from both these teams in the second half.
You look at Chesterton. Wally McCormick was calling the plays last year. Now he's on defense. So if you're Coach Schreiber on the defensive side, you're unsure what they're going to do on offense. and if you're the Hobart coach, you're unsure what Chesterton's going to do on defense, and vice versa. So, the first half's a lot of feeling each other out on the first game of the season, and when you get into an environment like what they have here at the Brickyard with all the fans, the Pop Warner kids going on, if you're a kid playing varsity for the very first time, it can be a bit overwhelming. You get that adrenaline dump. So I think we're going to see a lot better, cleaner second half.
That would be ideal to bring you all the great action here at the Brickyard. You got a storied history here. We've seen 2 scores already in this one, both coming in that second quarter. Sebastian Boswell from 1 yard out, really kind of just starting that second quarter out, and then the beautiful pass to T.J. Caldwell as he was cutting from the outside up the middle of the field and getting a nice pass into the end zone from 19 yards out.
Yeah, I think, Chesterton had a nice drive that capped off by the 1 yard touchdown run by Boswell. Hobart I think it was on 4th down there. They thought they were going to get a stop there, and they did a little goose and go. And then Hobart answered back with the touchdown of their own, and had an opportunity here. If it wasn't, once again, a big holding penalty when Hobart was driving, which cost them field position. They ultimately ended up punting. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great second half. I'm
going to point out one guy real quick before we head to break, and then I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on changes that need to be made for both sides for sure. Aiden Leonard for Hobart. He's got the interception. He had a big pass down here to keep a drive alive for the Hobart Brickies. He's kind of been standing out both offensively and defensively, and kind of making that maybe a case for one of our awards a little bit later on, kind of doing those maybe intangibles that you don't really notice late in the game, but you're like, hey, wait a minute, he had the INT, which allowed Hobart to get the touchdown, and then he had a big catch down here to keep some momentum going for the Brickies. So one guy to keep in mind here in that second half as we send it to a break for just a moment. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 50 years, family-owned Budd Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Budd Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at buddinsagency.com. Certified financial planner Tim O'Brien is your Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why financial advisor Tim O'Brien is a proud supporter of Hobart football on the Region Sports Network. Call 219-947-8208 or stop by his office at 1455 South Lake Park Avenue across from St. Mary's Hospital for all your investment needs. Go Brickies! Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Really? I think it's basketball.
Granger at the Clock Tower is a place to gather in downtown Hobart before or after a Brickies win. Whatever meal you are in the mood for, you can find it at Granger's. Owned by a Brickie family, Granger's also offers an aesthetically pleasing indoor setting, along with an outdoor section overlooking the beautiful Lake George. Check out one of Hobart's highest-rated restaurants, located at 437 East 3rd Street in Hobart, and they're open 7 days a week. Visit their Facebook page for daily specials and events. Granger's at the Clock Tower. A good time.
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
And you can't get to the store? Shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. You're tuned into the Hose Connections halftime report. Tonight's game is brought to you by Von Tobel Building Supply. Von Tobel, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit vontobel.com to find out more information. Again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties we've been experiencing here this evening. Sometimes internet can be a little funky from time to time, and we do apologize for those. Week one for us here at the Region Sports Network as well. See a little bit of a herky-jerky, sloppy game, and, you know, the only thing that's not sloppy about this is the two guys I'm with here, Rick Novak and Josh Huddleston. These guys are in mid-season form already in their analyst chairs as they wear their analyst hats as well. You should see the hats. They're pretty funky looking.
Well, if I was the Bricky faithful is construction themed tonight. They got hard hats on.
I think you need to get you one of those. I think you would look good in a construction hat. I don't know if we can get the whole headset around it, but all right, we're getting set here for the second half of action. A little bit of warm-up action for both teams as they come back out onto the field. The Pop Warner teams for Hobart here had a chance to play on the field on the new turf, and one of the cool moments for if you're a younger player getting to play on the field that you're hoping to play on maybe down the road. You've heard your family talk about these games. You know, you go back in history and think about all the fun Hobart games that have been played over the years, and, you know, those are just fun storytelling days. You know, back in the day, you know, those are always fun to listen to.
All my life. Right?
There it is.
That's right, all my life.
All my life.
Work, work, work.
You got it. You got it. I know the guys did that at the preseason pigskin party over at Set 'em Up Lanes in Griffith. So the tradition continues with the Hobart Brickies. All right, second half action. Rick, let's take a look at the Chesterton Trojans. Obviously, trying to stop the penalties would be the obvious one. I don't want to take your thoughts away from you, but what would you like to see change a little bit in terms of the Chesterton Trojans here? What halftime adjustment would you like to see going into half number two?
Well, obviously cleaning things up a bit. I think that's their number one thing. In terms of what they're doing on the field, they started doubling Caldwell a little bit there towards the end of the half. I think that they should keep doing that. I think he's by far the most dangerous guy on the Hobart offense. The problem is when you do that, you're taking guys out of the box. You're taking other guys off of other receivers. So I think they got to be careful with how they're double teaming him. In certain situations, certain down and distances, I think they need to put 2 guys on him, but not all the time, because this Hobart offense has shown the ability with Leonard and Shearer to get some other guys to get some explosive plays. So, and also when you're double covering him, Sorensen has been scrambling as well. So I think, how do you take away Caldwell while also not leaving yourself vulnerable? I think that's their big question mark right now for Chesterton.
All right, on the flip side, Josh, what would you like to see the Hobart Brickies do here in the second half? Maybe change, or what have you liked that they've been doing well that you want to see more of?
I think what Hobart needs to do offensively is they need to establish an identity, and I think it starts with running the ball with Willie Shear. They're trying to go up the middle a little bit. Let's see, he's got some wheels. What about a toss to the outside and utilize that running game to bring to Rick's point, to bring that guy down in the box, where then it can open up Caldwell on a deep route. So I think they need to utilize their running game and Willie Shear to set up that passing game.
Okay, well, we're going to see in just a few moments what it's going to look like. It'll be Hobart to get the ball first here in the second half. We appreciate you being tuned into the Hose Connection halftime report. Brought to you by the Hose Connections, INC.com. Hose Connections, they're proven under pressure. And don't forget, after the game today, you can tune in to the Centier Bank studio. Mike Jamia, Jack Theo will have a wrap-up of all the scores and highlights from around the region tonight. Mike and Jack doing great work over in the Centier Bank studios. Getting ready to start this second half here. Looks like maybe the Trojan faithful, the student section over there, trying to, maybe light a way over there for the Trojans to try to get something going here. Or they're in distress and they need some help. I don't know. One of the two things there.
We're going to find out.
We see people sprinting in that direction. We know it was the latter, but hopefully they're trying to light the way for the Trojans here defensively here in the second half.
You got the first half jitters out of the way. Now we're going to see some football, right? We're going to, strap it down, get used to playing your games on both sides of the ball for both teams, and I think it's going to be a fun and exciting second half, and hope the fans viewing across the country and worldwide are going to get a treat.
Well, we know we've had international viewers here in the last couple of weeks, so hopefully they're tuned in maybe in Australia. Kind of early day there, maybe mid-afternoon or something like that. Alex Drews will lead things off, kicking this one away. I'm sorry. Yep, I am correct on that. The senior. And Hobart, we see the same kind of kick again here. This one will roll out of bounds, so that's going to be a penalty.
It's the unspoken kind of conversation that happens when you have dangerous returners, is they got to start doing things that they're not normally used to doing, so penalties like that happen.
I was going to ask, we've seen that kick twice now, and you were talking about maybe trying to keep it away. So how do you maybe prevent, obviously there's different ways to kick the ball, obviously, but is that the only way that they can do things to try to keep it out of those returners' hands, or is there other things you can maybe try to do to if not kick it out of bounds, I guess?
I mean, that was almost like an onside kick that kind of went past the first line. You could try to do something where you're kicking it actually up into the air, maybe angle it, try to get it to the back, the second line guys who are still blockers, maybe a little bit more fast than the first line guys, but still not Caldwell and Shearer, who have 4.4 type speed back there, both of them.
So Hobart will pick it up here at the 35. That's about where it was rolling out anyway, so it didn't make that much of a difference. If it had rolled out at like the 40, you're hoping like, oh, well, maybe we can take that yardage. So starting things up here in the second half. Sorensen's been pretty accurate today. To give us to Shear, he moves ahead. Gets maybe a yard, doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Brady McCormick made a great play on the kick-out block. He stepped out and then bounced in and made the tackle, which was pretty impressive. If that block is made, there's a long way for Willie Shear.
Hobart's still going no huddle. So they had some problems in the first half with the no huddle, but not enough to where the coaching staff wanted to get away from it.
4 wide receivers set. Caldwell at the bottom of your screen. See a lateral pass. This one taken for a few yards, not much of a gain as Aiden Leonard gets that possession. We kind of spotlighted him at the Hose Connection halftime report a little bit, getting that early INT and then making a big catch down here at the near sideline.
Yeah, Chesterton's defense is doing a real nice job running laterally side to side, stringing plays out, and not letting the Hobart guys turn upfield and create chunk plays.
So 3rd down here, 3rd and 7 for the Brickies. Sorensen moving to his right, still moving, looking to throw. Pass is going to be incomplete.
It's one of the first passes we've seen of Sorensen that missed the mark all night long. He had a lot of pressures running, and it was a last-second throw, but Stafford was at the first down marker, just missed it.
Last year with Lake Central was 4 of 13 for 90 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks. So now to kick things away is Xander Langford.
A great defensive series by Chesterton. They came up, made a great stop. Was playing sideline to sideline on the screen, got the incomplete pass there. So Chesterton, great work on defense.
Connor Hansen back to return. He will pick it up, or he will let it bounce at the 30, and that's where the Brickies will pick it up right at the 30-yard line. So not bad field position to start things up if you're the Chesterton Trojans. And you forced Hobart here basically to a 3-and-out. So you want to start here if you're the Trojans, want to get something going here. They had a nice opening drive. Do you start maybe with what kind of a script play did they come up with here that's maybe similar to kind of eat some clock here, maybe try to get you a score here early in the second half?
I think their first drive of the game they were passing a lot, but then they kind of settled down and were running the ball quite a bit. So we'll see how they kind of go about it in this second half.
Boswell keeps, goes off to his right, and he's tackled for a loss. He tried to hand it off to Lewis. He ended up keeping, and Hobart was not fooled on the play.
Looked like an RPO, and he pulled it, and he was trying to get the ball out, but I think, sometimes on those plays, like Josh's point earlier, where you give the quarterback so much freedom, he is a high school kid. He's maybe not going to make the right decision sometime, and you're going to eat a loss like that.
Yeah, that one looked like it took a little longer to develop. Those RPOs are quick, boom, boom. That one just was a little longer, and so he was running the opposite way his receiver was and made a smart decision by taking a sack there.
So it was a loss of 8 on the play, 2nd and 18. Boswell up the middle. Pass is caught. Up to midfield. What a catch. Garrett Lewis making the plays for Chesterton.
Another one-handed catch by him, and that was thrown on a rope from Boswell in between 2 guys. It was good coverage, but it's just thrown perfectly. A great catch and run by Lewis, especially just to keep his balance catching that ball. That was really impressive.
I'll take that kid on my team any day.
Oh, that's for sure.
He's a gamer, playing hard, running the ball, catching passes. What a play, what a pitch and catch there from the Chesterton Trojans.
Just shy of 30 yards on the pickup there as they get right to midfield for the Trojans. Boswell steps back up, has time, looks to air it out. Down the field, pass is going to be overthrown to Barnwell, the junior.
Well, Rick, they have come out and run 3 straight pass plays.
We have our answer. I'm a little surprised because they really were having a lot of success running the ball, but they must have saw something in the coverage in halftime that they liked and felt that they could take advantage of.
Yeah, look, you got Willie Shear, who plays their safety position, is not playing defense right now, so maybe they see a personnel situation that they like.
3 wide receivers down at the bottom, 1 in motion, that's Hansen. 1 receiver at the top, they're looking to the right, down the field, pass is incomplete. Down on the far side. Chadwick was the intended receiver there. So third down coming up here for the Trojans with 9 minutes to go.
It's a big third down for both teams.
Yes. Who are you looking for if you're the Trojans right now? Who's your target right off the bat?
Lewis isn't out on the field. He hasn't been out there since he made that great catch and run, so I'm not sure. Maybe he was a little banged up.
We have a whistle here, and we're going to have a timeout taken. You know, talking to both coaches, we're going to keep it right here. Talking to both coaches before, both were high on their receivers, both were high on the running game. And so far in the game today, the receivers have really been making the plays that they've needed to. The quarterbacks have been fairly accurate all night long. We've talked about that kind of off air.
No, especially for the first game of the year. The passing game, it's a little bit harder than the running game. You got to have guys with the timing. You know, it takes a lot of reps. It takes a little bit more reps than getting some inside run done. So it's been very impressive. Both these quarterbacks coming in here have been very, very poised in the pocket, stepping up, making the correct throws. Especially they've had some pressure in their faces a lot, and the receivers have made plays too. So both of these teams, their passing games have been as advertised.
Yeah, the quarterbacks for high school quarterbacks have been pretty accurate. I mean, all things considering, they're throwing the ball where it needs to be, and it's pretty impressive to watch high school athletes make these kind of big league throws.
Just like I know you can do.
Only on Madden.
All right, third down and 10, 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Boswell with time. Gets out of the pressure, throws down, and it's going to be, did they say caught or incomplete on the far side of the field? If not, even if so, it was short of the line to gain anyway. So we're at fourth down. It's going to be an incomplete pass. We're still at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Boswell was looking for one guy there. He immediately started turning to his right, and when he wasn't there, he really had nowhere to go. And that's the danger of those one-man route combinations.
Alex Drews is back to kick. Kick this one off to the right. This will take a bounce at the 25, and it will continue to roll backwards for Chesterton as they're hoping it continues to roll to the 5. They're trying to will it down there, and it'll stop in between about the 7-ish, 8-ish yard line. And that's where the Brickies will have to start. So we've seen Hobart get a chance to start at some good field positions, not able to convert on a lot of those. And now this might be the worst starting field position of the evening.
When you're in a defensive battle like this, the special teams game, the field position game becomes all the more important. And right there, even though Chesterton didn't score any points, they did advance the ball to the 50-yard line, and then they flipped the field. So, again, you don't come up with anything on the scoreboard, but in the actual strategy of the game, pinning Hobart back within their own 10-yard line, making them drive 90-plus yards, that's hard to do in high school football.
Yeah, an excellent punt right there to pin them inside the 10, almost near the 5.
They call it the hidden yardage, right?
Yep. So Sorensen will start things up here. Hands it off to the left, gains some yardage here after the tackler went for a ride.
Willie Shears, looks like they're stretching him on the sidelines. He might be cramping up. And Max Pickett.
Yeah, it looks like Max Pickett, number 6.
Pickett's a big running back name. Good old Mike Pickett from Lowell. And here's Max getting some varsity time.
And we're talking about some diehard football fans here. Lowell and Hobart. Give again on the run, moving ahead. And Pickett is stopped. This will be third down. He will not get the first down just yet, but Hobart kind of knocking on that door right there near that first down marker.
Yeah, just get a first down. You know, that's all. Nothing fancy here. You got 1 yard to go. Get a first down and get those chains moving, because if not, you're going to have to punt from deep in your own territory.
Pickett's a big kid. Got him listed at 5'11", 195. It might be just turn around and hand him off and battle of wills here.
Hand off again. He juts ahead, and he's going to get it by a yard. Or are they going to? Yep, that is going to be the first down. They are going to move the chains on the far side. Clock will stop. 7:25, although the clock is actually moving right now.
Hobart still no huddle. I mean, they're kind of slowing it down as opposed to what they were in the first half, but they're not huddling up at all. They're getting all the plays from the sideline.
So they're at the 19-yard line now. Broken play. Sorensen uses his legs, but he's going to be taken out of bounds for a loss of a couple yards. So you're saying that they're looking at the sideline for all their plays. Is that, is that good? Is that bad?
It's kind of, I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. A lot of teams, they won't call plays and they won't put anything on a wristband or anything and huddle up. They have cardboard cutouts, whatnot, to kind of signal the plays in. It gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of not having a huddle going faster or slower, though.
Sorensen looking to air it out, looking for Caldwell. Ball is going to be caught at the 45, near the 45-yard line, out across midfield. Caldwell on the near side.
I said guarding this kid one-on-one, you're playing with fire. I mean, he came back for that ball. What an elite. We talked about his speed, his route running, but that was great ball skills right there, coming back for that one and reeling it in.
I mean, they're playing 12 yards off of him. They're giving him a good cushion. He still ran a go route, but we talked at halftime about the running game setting up the passing game, and they went 3 straight runs and then took a shot.
On the 47, high snap. Give us to Pickett. He's got running room ahead. And he's taken down about the 40-yard line. So it's actually at the 39 they're going to mark it. It'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up here, maybe 2nd and 5.
I'm waiting for them to throw just a stay route to Cardwell over here. I mean, if you're watching how Chesterton's playing him, they're respecting his ability.
So at the 42, I said 38, I meant 42 is what I meant, because, numbers. Another kind of high snap. Give to Pickett again. He kind of gets tossed around a little bit.
Chesterton's getting a lot of penetration, and when you're running these kind of trap gap runs that Hobart's trying to get, penetration can be very, very difficult to deal with. They got to get that kind of cleaned up with their offensive line if they want to have some success running the football.
Corey Kazicki was in there on the play. Throw. Caldwell, 35, up to the 30 before he's taken out of bounds. It'll be a Hobart first down.
Just talking about the amount of cushion they're giving him and just throwing him kind of a stay route, and that's exactly what they did on that play.
And you're seeing him after the catch there, he was almost able to break that one. So after the catch in close space with one defender, he can make a guy miss, and at that point he could be taking it for 6.
Now sometimes they come back to double moves.
So at the 31, Hobart moving downfield. 1st and 10. Sorensen keeps, runs ahead. He's got room. He's in for the touchdown. From 31 yards out, Johnny Sorensen runs for his first Bricky touchdown.
Yeah, nice play call. They faked it to the back, pulled the tackle on the guard, kick out, pulled up through, and Sorensen untouched 30-something yards for a touchdown.
Welcome to Hobart, Johnny. That's a great feeling when the crowd erupts. And what a play. He showed his speed, showed his burst through the middle of the field, and that's how setting up the running game proves dividends there for Hobart.
Langford's PAT is good, so it'll be 14-7 here in the 3rd. Oh, I'm sorry, it was no good. I thought it went through, excuse me. So they say no good, so it's 13-7. The score still good for the Hobart Brickies. We're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since opening their doors in 1905, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply has worked with Indiana homeowners and contractors to provide quality building materials. Today, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply proudly serves Indiana from their locations in Cherville, Valparaiso, Michigan City, and Lafayette. A department for every room in your home, from building support to bathroom kitchens and more. They can even help you design your next project. Visit vontobles.com for more information. Von Tobel, building better together.
Welcome back as Von Tobel Building Supply presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel with locations in Valparaiso, Cherville, and Michigan City. Check out vontobel.com for more information. All right, the Brickies will kick this one away, and Chesterton now with an opportunity to try to answer. On the return, taking ahead of across the 25. Nice return for the Trojans, so they will pick it up there at about the 28-yard line. Decent field position to start things up.
Now, if you're Chesterton, you gotta answer back, right? I mean, we're getting late in the third quarter. Scores have been coming in at a premium, so you gotta. If you're Chesterton, you gotta put a nice drive together and punch one in the end zone.
Yeah, you want to string some plays. I mean, even if you can't get it into the end zone, at least you got to get your offensive confidence back. Flip the field.
That's exactly the word I was thinking. Build some confidence here. If you are the Chesterton Trojans. Boswell keeps, looks downfield. Pass is out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was Cameron Chadwick.
Yeah, Boswell unleashed a rocket right there, and it just went straight through the receiver's hand. I mean, there was some zip on that one.
Wish we had a radar gun on that. That was humming.
For our executive producers listening, that's the next thing we need to purchase is a radar gun, apparently, for baseball pitches as well. See, it's dual purpose. We'll get many uses out of it. 4:50 to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10. Delayed handoff. Here's the flip. Now jutting ahead is Aiden Leonard. And that gained maybe a yard. And Leonard is slow to get up. I'm sorry, Garrett Lewis, excuse me. Garrett Lewis is slow to get up.
He's been working hard all night long.
Yes, he has. So we will remind you that we have 3 awards to hand out at the conclusion of this one. We got the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowd Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the gridiron. We've got the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. And then we've got the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. We got some Strike and Van Til hometown scoreboard updates for you here. Rick, if you want to read some of those off with what we've got, just rolling through the hometown scoreboard on Facebook.
All right, well, the first score that just came up was 0-0, and it looks like it's South Central and Triton. And
so if you have a score for that one, go ahead and bring it to us here on the Region Sports Network. We'd love to have that one.
And now the screen has gone black.
So we're back.
All right.
Hold on.
Maryville up over Andrean in the third quarter, 21-6. Bishop Knoll and South Bend Clay, we've got that at 0-0. It should probably have started by now, so if you've got that one, send it over. Boone Grove up over John Glenn, 26-23 in the third quarter.
I will say, Rick, I talked to some of those guys from Bishop Knoll not that long ago. They're feeling optimistic about their team. They think they're going 9-0 this year.
Hey, more power to them. More power to I'm an Andrean guy, so I'm not going to root for them, but more power to them if that's what they think. Plymouth up 20-8 over Calumet. We're waiting on a Carroll and North Newton score. If you've got that, please send it to us over on Facebook.
Hey, I know the score to that one.
The Chesterton Hobart here, 13-7 Hobart. Crown Point up 21-0 over Lowell in the third.
Daryl Skabinski doing a great job over in the RSN studio, in the Centerbank studios. Excuse me. So we've got third down here, 3rd and 10 on the 28. Boswell looking to get some momentum going for Chesterton. Looks to his right. Pass is going to be incomplete. A late turn out by his receiver out there. And that was Hansen. Got kind of a late turn, and then as he turned, he realized the ball was coming his way.
Yeah, they went that wheel route again that they've hit a couple times for some big plays. Boswell kind of behind him on the pass, and the receiver really wasn't looking for it until it was almost right on him.
Yeah, I think Boswell was patter, waiting, and then just was taking a little longer to develop than I think he wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of felt like a little rush to get that out of his hand. This one will be punted away. It'll cross midfield and be taken inside the 40. So right about the 39-yard line is where they're going to spot that one here with 4:03 left to go in the third quarter here, the opening quarter of the second half.
Another score that we just saw that was kind of interesting. Penn defeating Valpo 38-21.
Saw that right here on the Region Sports Network. Those Kingmen are always a tough out.
They're a blue blood for a reason.
Salt Lake Central was leading as well over the Munster Mustangs.
You had to get that in, huh?
I mean, wouldn't you? If you were looking at the scores, I know you would have jumped on that immediately.
I would have. Appreciate that.
And we also have Portage over Morton 10-7 in the third quarter as well.
That Portage can always be a dangerous team.
Roy Richards.
Yep. So Hobart will pick up here. Sorensen looks to his left, and that ball is out after the catch. Oh, my. What a tackle. That was Chase Staubus. Receiver had hands on it. And Staubus was there and said, no, sir.
Yeah, he came up making that tackle with some viciousness to him. I mean, he diagnosed that play real well.
There might have been a little frustration that they're back out there. But Hobart says, all right, we're going to go right back to action here. Sorensen scrambles, throws ahead, looking for Leonard. Pass is dropped out across the 25. We're looking for a flag in the Hobart sideline, cheering at the near side official for one, and they won't get one.
I mean, they want one, but that looked like a good play to me by that kid. I mean, he got his hand on that ball at the last end. I want to say that's number 2, Josue McLemore for the Trojans. Nice play there at the end to break up that pass because it was a great throw by Sorensen.
A lot of hand fighting,
That's it. If it's going both ways, I think that's where the official can say, okay, it's a wash. McLemore had 10 total tackles a season ago. Sorensen looks to his left, passes, bobbled, and dropped, this time by Mason Jackson. And we've got the Chesterton visiting coaches to our left, and they're a little excited about that play.
I mean, yeah,
3 and out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say exactly what the doctor ordered for Chesterton. A bad defensive possession, the possession before. There they get a 3 and out, and now they got 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Hobart went away from the running game that drive. The previous drive they were heavy run, and then they connected on a big pass, and that time they were all pass.
So under 4 minutes to go, the punt is away from Langford, and we are going to have some laundry on the field.
I think if that's roughing the kicker, that's going to be a first down, and I think he hit the plant leg, so I think it will be.
Personal foul. Those are the 15-yard variety. We talked about penalties being crucial at crucial times, and Chesterton, it looked like they had a punt block on. They came in with their ears pinned back there, and they roughed the kicker.
Back-breaking penalty. We've talked about Chesterton with these penalties in the worst possible times. I mean, we say that they really needed that 3 and out, and then they go and get that penalty, and it's really hard to win football games when you make penalties like not just one, but a few in one game.
Well, now you're the Hobart coaching staff. You say, hey, we get a do-over, and so maybe they'll come out and lean a little more on that running game.
You got to think if Shearer, we haven't seen him, if he's not going to be able to come back into this game for whatever reason, maybe is that the reason they're going to the pass game more? I mean, you still probably got to put the ball in,
Max
Pickett's hands. But, if you don't have your number one guy out there, maybe, I can understand trying to air it out a little bit more.
Well, and when I talked to Coach Osika, he said we want to see balance. We don't want to be one-dimensional. We want to see the balance. So, if you are left in a spot where, maybe the running game isn't going to be a strong suit right now with Willie Shear out, this is where you have your chance to balance things out and try to see what Sorensen has in terms of an arm. And he said, over the course of the summer, he has gotten better as a thrower. So we'll see that development from the summer on display here in the second half. He looks to throw again. Downfield, looking for Caldwell. Pass is caught at the 10.
Wow, I mean, he got away with a little bit of a push coming back for the ball, but, I mean, it's a great play by him. We talked about his ball skills. On a back shoulder fade like that, he made it look easy. I mean, he's really a great player.
I mean, I don't know how much stronger of an arm Johnny Sorensen needs to throw it, but Caldwell is just so fast. He's got to come back to the ball almost every play.
First and goal. The give is to Pickett. He runs up to about the 5-yard line. Maybe they're going to mark it at the 6.
What a swing. Chesterton, they're looking to get the ball back there, and all of a sudden, Hobart is knocking on the door here to go up 2 scores, and the game is really, the momentum is totally flipped on its head.
We thought that interception earlier in the second half helped Hobart here, and now a personal foul as Sorensen gets to the 10. He's going to be tackled out just shy of the 10, so they said clock is going to continue to run here. So it is going to be a loss a little bit here, back to the 9. So second down.
Yeah, it looked like a read option, and Sorensen kept, but Chesterton had him dead to rights anyway. They did a great job taking away both the running back and the quarterback on the option play.
It is going to be third down. I was looking at the far sticks. They hadn't flipped the number up there yet.
Yeah, Aiden Leonard's a big kid. Might throw him, a 50-50 ball, or maybe a whip out by the receivers to the far side. Sorensen's been accurate all night, so
it's third down and 9. Play clock has not started.
Yeah, Leonard is 6'4". McLemore on Chesterton, who's guarding him, is 5'10", so 6 inches height difference there. You could see a jump there. He's got him one-on-one at the bottom of the screen here. Maybe that is what Hobart's dialing up.
They're marking the ball at the 11 now.
Leonard's a basketball player. Forward, goes up and gets rebounds, so it's kind of the same thing.
We had a false start. I'm sorry, the penalty is declined. That was done. So
third down.
Yep, third down here. Which they had the ball on the 11. Now they moved it up. So the ball on the, is it the 8 that is marked down right now? Too many of those football players in my way. So now the play clock will begin. 2:38 left to go here in the third quarter. Sorensen, pockets collapsing. He's got pressure, and he's going to be taken down. Brady McCormick in there for part of that sack.
They brought pressure off the left side, his blind side. He never saw it. It wasn't picked up, and they get a big play. I mean, you probably heard it on the broadcast. Everyone listening at home, the Chesterton coaches to our left screaming with delight because that is a huge, huge play for them.
Makes this a long field goal.
Definitely.
So in there to kick, Langford, the junior. The holder will be Bloom. Kick is up. And it is good. from 33 yards out. And it's good for 3 more for the Brickies. So it's 16-7 here in the third. You're watching Game 9 on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Back here in the third quarter at the Brickyard, Chesterton and Hobart. Correction on that field goal yardage. It was about 40-41 on the kick for Langford to add 3 points on the board for the Brickies. So 16-7 is your score, with Chesterton with an opportunity to try to get an answer here. DeMarco on the return and just shy of the 30, but still in bounds and getting out across the 30 now.
Huge field goal for Hobart right there. Going up 9, 2-possession game in a game where it's been hard to score. I mean, we've had teams, both these teams, it's been sloppy, hard to execute at certain times. So going up 2 scores, even if you didn't get it in the end zone there, is absolutely huge at this point in the game.
And you're looking with Chesterton, we don't know the status of Garrett Lewis, but, I mean, he's your playmaker. He's your guy that you want to get the ball. And if he's not out there, then, you know, you start to look to the next guy. And, you know, with missing him, he's a guy that could take it the distance.
Boswell. McCormick moves upfield. Taken out close to midfield there.
Let's start calling Brady McCormick Slash. I mean, he plays running back. He played some quarterback, defensive end, linebacker.
He's a Swiss Army knife. I mean, he's a bowling ball out there. He's a thick kid. I mean, but with some speed to him for sure. Surprising for a kid that's big.
Last year, he was 15-25 for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. One of those coming in that game against Hobart. Give back to him. He juts ahead out across midfield and taken down at about the 46-yard line for McCormick, the fullback.
Bradley Gibson on the tackle for Hobart, brother of Trey Gibson, who was a stud for the Brickies for the past couple years. But McCormick, again, I mean, he got hit about 3 yards downfield and dragged a couple guys for a few more extra yards. I mean, he is hard to bring down.
Gibson, 103 total tackles last year, had 4 sacks and a fumble recovery a season ago. Boswell hands off again. McCormick juts ahead, finds some running room, gets the first down, and we have no flag on the play. There may have been a hand in near that horse collar, but nothing called, and that's where, you know, on the Chesterton sideline, they might be having a few choice words. But the play is up to the 32-yard line. A huge pickup for Brady McCormick and the Trojans.
Wally was over there telling Brady to cover the ball. I wonder what it's like having your dad coach you in high school football.
I bet it's a lot of pressure, you know, especially a guy who's been, you know, a coach, head coach at a lot of different places, coaching a state championship. Wally McCormick did. So, I mean, he's got a lot of accolades himself. So it's got to be a lot of pressure.
And Brady grew up Hobart. You know, they were talking to Wally before the broadcast about Brady just, you know, growing up here at Hobart. So,
well, that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to step aside. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Develop skills that will last for a lifetime with an apprenticeship with the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. The apprenticeship and training program is committed to developing highly skilled bricklayers, terrazzo workers, and ceramic tile setters to provide the construction industry with the best hands in the business. If you are currently working non-union and want better pay with benefits, or if you think learning a new skill with a paid apprenticeship while you earn your associate's degree is the right path for you, visit baclocal4.org/training to learn more about the apprenticeship program. Are you built to succeed?
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results.
Welcome back to game night here on the Region Sports Network. Boswell gives off to McCormick again, who finds running room up to the 25. Before he's taken down, he's trying to get to the 22. And this is kind of the momentum builder, the confidence booster if you're Chesterton that you need. And it's coming on the running game right now from McCormick.
Rick talked earlier in the broadcast about you don't know what you have till the first game, and you kind of see it. And it looks like Chesterton maybe have found a running game with Brady.
They needed a drive like that. They need points, but they needed a drive like this right now on offense. They've been very stop and start on offense this second half.
Boswell hands off again. McCormick finds room. He juts ahead inside, and it's a touchdown. Brady McCormick rushed for 9 touchdowns last year. Give him number 1 here tonight.
They ran a little counter play, pulled the guard and the tight end. Guard kicked out, tight end wrapped up through to the linebacker. The hole opened up. McCormick was 15 yards downfield by the time anybody touched him. And then when he's a 200-pound kid, when he's back there, it's hard for DBs to tackle him.
Bad snap. Ball picked up. Ball is loose. This one is not going to go for a touchdown. The play is stopped. So while it's ran back, the officials are saying stop.
Someone might have been down on the ground when they touched the ball, potentially. I'm not sure. I thought the ball was live, but, you know, is the rule different in high school on a botched field? I wasn't sure, but...
Yeah, the officials are talking. I mean, our head official immediately started to signal stop of the play.
I was the scoop and score guy on the block field goals. I was always the guy that ran up in case the block kicked, so...
Coach Osika is going to get an explanation here. I'm sure no matter what he's going to hear, he's not going to be a fan of it. I mean, you talk about something that could have been a momentum swing.
I mean, it is a PAT. Is that part of the problem? I'm not, you know, we don't have a rule book on hand, folks, unfortunately.
I do think, because I think there was a rule, wasn't there a play in college where a runner started to run back on a PAT and they couldn't on a fumble for a PA? I believe that might be the case because it's a point after.
Yeah, I mean, Chesterton caught a break there either way. I mean, that could have been points for Hobart, and it's still a 3-point game.
Yeah, the 3-point game is where it's huge right now. I mean, it would have been a 2-point game if that PAT was made, which then, I mean, if they were to get a field goal late, that's where the major swing would have happened. But right now, you're happy that you're just at minimum 3. I mean,
we've seen both teams have problems in the kicking game, and again, you can simulate kicking in practice, but you're not going to have your practice defense guys probably go that hard on a simulating kickoff, so they don't hurt the kicker. When you're out in the game like this, it's a lot more pressure, a lot more physical, and like I said, we've seen both teams have problems with the kicking game today.
This first game jitters. We'll see what Chesterton does on this kickoff. Are they going to pooch it, scrub it, or kick it deep?
Picked up, bobble, dropped. Both teams saying they have it. There are coaches from both sides jumping up and down. Looks like it's going to be, if I had to guess based on the reactions, it's going to be Hobart ball. Chesterton didn't seem to, the players didn't seem too animated as if they had it. So that's usually the telltale sign. And when the whole team is pointing in one direction, that's usually a good indicator.
That's one of the advantages of kind of those squib kicks is if it gets to a guy that's not used to carrying the ball, they're more the blocking guys. Sometimes you create fumbles, it hits off of them, and so it's a strategy because you give up field position, but it could be high risk, high reward.
Well, the field position given up here, ball at the 39 now.
If you're Chesterton, if you give up a field goal, you're okay. Obviously, you can't give up a touchdown, but if you can sort of that bend but don't break mentality here for them.
Sorensen, hands off. Pickett runs ahead to the right, had some room, and taken down from behind at the 45.
We're going to take a walk down memory lane here because when Wally was the coach here at Hobart, Mike Pickett was his running back coach, and now we're seeing Brady and Pickett carrying the rock. It's kind of sometimes life comes full circle, and we're seeing it tonight.
So at the 44, 2nd and 6. We have a flag on the play. Pass is caught. It would have been a first down, but we'll see what the penalty marker is for. So our head official threw that one.
Illegal shift on Hobart.
So that'll bring it back.
Maybe not everyone was set when the ball was snapped.
Tell you what, Johnny caught that ball in kind of a Patrick Mahomes sidearm throw out there. It's pretty impressive, right on the money to Leonard.
No, it was a good throw. It was a very nice throw. Unfortunately, coming back.
Mechanically, you may know, you may not. Mechanically, is that better for your arm or worse for your arm? Does it really matter?
Back, some years ago, everything was over the top. Now these quarterbacks are throwing from all different arm angles, so you can throw out the old.
Pickett with some room to run out across the 45 now.
I think coaches are a lot more forgiving as long as it gets there.
As long as the catch is made.
I don't think they care what it really looks like as long as you're getting the ball to the guys it needs to go to.
Well, because I think MLB pitchers in general, you throw over the top. Then you talk about Tommy John surgery, that's elbows and stuff like that. So is this actually saving arms of quarterbacks a little bit here and there?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good point.
Pickett gets stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss. We have a lot of whistles, maybe a little extracurriculars going on out there. We're kind of in that point in the game now where maybe some frustrations and some words have been shared throughout the course of the evening.
We've seen a complete momentum shift. Hobart had all the momentum. Now Chesterton's defense comes up to play. They got a little spark on offense. They get a 3-and-out right there. Now Hobart's got to punt and turn the ball back over to the Chesterton offense, who just went through the Hobart defense.
One saving grace is they're punting from about their 50. If they can get a good punt here, back Chesterton up, make them drive a long distance, you got to feel better about that, but we'll see right now.
It's Hines back to catch that one. He'll call a fair catch at the 20.
So, that's not great field position for Chesterton, so you kind of got what you needed out of that drive right there, at least flipping the field position.
I think I said Hines. I meant Hansen when I said the returner. Not quite sure who Hines is, but I think we're allowed to make up players every once in a while, right?
Our first game, too.
It's Connor Hansen, the senior.
Yeah, we'll see if they keep feeding McCormick here. He took him to the house last time, and
we talked about bread and butter maybe changing from first quarter to fourth quarter. Well, the bread and butter right now is McCormick for Chesterton. It was a lot of Boswell the first part of the game. Give. McCormick runs ahead, gets a couple of yards.
McCormick's playing defense also, so he's got his hands on his hips right now.
6 foot, 200 pounds, the junior Brady McCormick. 51 rushes a season ago for 202 yards and 9 tutties. Coach Peterson likes that 9 tutties.
You start running the ball. You kind of lull the DBs to sleep, and then sometimes you can take a shot.
3 wide receivers set. Give us to McCormick again, this time to the right side. Out across the 30. It'll be a first down. And he's taken down at about the 34-yard line. So it'll be a first down for the Trojans. And, this is where you talk about lulling them to sleep, but just getting some of these runs and getting the momentum going on your side here, as we already said, has kind of shifted a little bit.
I mean, I also want to point out number 5 on Chesterton, Connor Hansen, made a great block on the edge there that allowed McCormick to get the edge. And like I said, when you got receivers, offense I mentioned earlier, it's about 11 guys doing their job. When you got receivers making great blocks like that, you're going to have successful offensive plays.
Give to McCormick again, who runs ahead and is really getting a lot of nice open spaces to run here. And when I talked to Coach Peterson before the game, he said we virtually have a brand new line. So you got John Landeros out there, Carlos Leon, Andrew Hyman, Ryan Grady, and Ryan Buza all out there on the line right now for the Trojans. It's basically kind of a new line compared to last year, except for maybe Buza, who had a little bit of action in the game and will have a timeout taken by the Trojans, so we'll take it with them. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. I want to get the lineman mentioned.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate, to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117.
Welcome to Public Bar and Rec, located in downtown Crown Point, a place for good games, good drinks, and good food. So come in and make it public. Try to survive zombie dodgeball, score a hole-in-one playing golf, or choose from over 13 multi-sport simulator games while fueling your competition with a variety of appetizers, entrees, and beverages. We have games for all ages with our family-friendly hours till 9 p.m. Reserve your simulator at publicbarandrec.com and let the fun begin.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, brought to you by Von Tobel Building Supply. It is 2nd and 7 here in the fourth quarter. Chesterton trying to mount a comeback. They trail by 3. Boswell holds, passes incomplete, intended for Hansen up the middle, trying to get some pass play going to give McCormick a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, it looks like another little RPO right there, and a good decision by Boswell to put the ball, but just, sometimes when the receivers haven't been having a lot of action themselves, even a ball that's put right on them like that can be harder than it looks, and a big drop right there.
They kind of put themselves in a predicament now. Now they're 3rd and 7. They had success running the ball. I like the play call. It's just tough when you don't execute on 2nd down. Brings up a 3rd and long. And now you got the Hobart faithful coming alive here.
McCormick stands to the right of Boswell. Gives to McCormick. He runs ahead. Spinning. He gets the first down out across the 45 near midfield. Brady McCormick having himself a second half here tonight.
I mean, this is going to sound crazy what I'm about to say, but he kind of reminds me of Jerome Bettis in a way where he's just a big, rumbling guy who's just going straight at it and doesn't maybe look pretty, so to speak, but it's really effective.
Yes, it doesn't have to be pretty if it's effective.
The Hobart faithful would look a little Andrew Jackson-esque. That's a big bowling running back and just keep plowing and plowing and plowing.
We're on the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Chesterton trying to put a good drive together here. McCormick again, this time is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So Hobart defense stepping up here. A lot of guys in on that tackle. Andres Castillo, Maurice MacArthur, Andrew Martinez all on the defensive end and defensive tackle line there. Bradley Gibson, Zach Bloom, and Jared Hansen on the linebacker core. And then your backs, Connor Stafford, Jacob Ramirez, Cale Schlosser.
Coming out of that timeout, Hobart went a little more weight on the defensive line.
Yeah, they also, more guys in the box closer to the football. They got 7 guys in the box now playing the safety a little bit closer down in too.
2nd down here. Boswell steps up, throws to his left, throw is low, and it's dropped on the far side of the field. CJ Perez, the intended receiver
Man, 3rd down here and 10, and Chesterton only has 1 timeout left, so, you know, if you had 3, you maybe could punt it back to him and try to play defense, but with only 1, I think this makes it 4-down territory right here.
I'll tell you what, we talked earlier in the broadcast about the first game and kind of the where are these guys at from a physical standpoint. You know, I see a lot of hands on hips, and a lot of guys are tired this late in the game, so, you know, you start thinking that, factoring that into your play calling and the things that you're trying to do on both offense and defense.
3rd down, McCormick runs ahead, gets the first down out across the 40. When they need him the most, Brady McCormick steps up and makes the run that they need. And Rick, I'm looking at you. I mean, all you can do is just go, oh my gosh.
I mean, second time on this drive we've seen a 3rd down and 10, and Brady McCormick has just plowed it straight up the gut for what they need. I mean, he's really, this second half here, since Garrett Lewis has gone out of the game, he's stepped up his game so much. He's basically dragging these guys.
And credit to that line for making those spaces available for him to have a lane. So on the 39, 1st and 10. McCormick again with it, runs ahead, gets the first down or close to it. There's going to be a yard short at the 30, trying to get to the 29. So they're going to mark it a yard shy, and I believe now Hobart's going to call a timeout, so we'll take it with him. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network, brought to you by Von Tobel Building Supply. Von Tobel building better together here in the 4th quarter. 5:36 left to go. Chesterton putting a drive together, and really it's on the back of Brady McCormick, the junior here for the Trojans.
Hobart keeps walking their linebackers up to the edges and leaving one linebacker, so any time the running back's able to get through the first line, they're not getting tackled until they get to the secondary. So maybe Hobart's going to drop a couple linebackers back and let them scrape across the line.
McCormick still in the back. They are dropping back, as you pointed out. 1 yard to go here, 2nd and 1. Boswell looking to throw, getting chased, moving to his right. He's going to run ahead out across the 30. He's trying to get to the 31. They're going to give him the yard, it looks like, which will be good for a Chesterton first down. A play that really started to break down a little bit. Boswell able to do it on his feet and get the yard that he needs to get the first down.
Yeah, tough play for the Hobart defense because they almost had him there for what would have been a huge sack, and he was able to just get just enough to get a first down. Big play by Boswell. We've seen him all night. His ability in the pocket has been very, very good, and right there it really paid off for the Trojans.
A season ago, he had 10 rushes for just 6 yards. I think he's pretty sure surpassed that tonight. I don't have the official stats in front of me. McCormick, though, finds a cut to the right, is going to be tackled kind of immediately, made that cut, and that's kind of where he ran into a little bit of trouble here, but he does pick up about 3 yards on the play. So, I mean, we can tell up here, I mean, clearly he's got some tired legs, but there, you know, once he gets the ball, it's like that just dissipates. He gets that magic water that they had in Space Jam.
I mean, he's a warrior right now. I mean, I don't think he's came off the field once on offense or defense, probably special teams, but he's been making plays on both sides of the field all night, and in the second half, he's been the guy the Chesterton Trojans have leaned on.
4:30 left in this one. McCormick again gets stopped at the 25, picks up maybe one more up to the 24. They're trying to get to the 19. Boswell runs to the sideline, waits for his play call there.
Hobart's made the adjustment. They're not bringing up guys to the line now. They got the linebackers back. and it's starting to pay dividends for them as the linebackers able to scrape and fill.
Yeah, the last couple of McCormick runs have not been as explosive as the ones he was getting a little bit before that.
Don't forget, after the game, Mike Shimmy and Jack Theo from the Centier Bank studio. They'll bring you all the scores and highlights from games around the region, including this one, all the way back from the Centier Bank studio. 3:45, McCormick stopped at the 25. And it'll be
decision time.
Yeah, it's 4th down here. We thought it was going to be 4-down territory near midfield. What are you thinking here? Do you go for the potential field goal? It just depends on what confidence you have in your kicker right now.
I mean, it's going to be over 40 yards. That's very long for high school. It looks like they're keeping the offense in. I mean, it's tough. If you don't have complete confidence in your kicker, you got to go for this here.
So you're 4th down and 6, trying to get to the 19. You're at the 25.
They could be trying to get them to jump off sides just to get a free 5 yards, though. That could be their strategy here.
Boswell keeps, shuffles off to Hansen. Hansen gonna be stopped. It's a turnover on downs. And with 2:53 left to go here in the 4th, Hobart leads by 3. And while that momentum may still kind of feel up in the air a little bit, that is certainly a momentum helper if you're the Brickies.
I mean, Chesterton only has 1 timeout left here. I mean, if you get 1 first down, it's over. So, that's what you're telling your guys right now. 1 first down, and we're 1-0 in this season. If you can't get that, Chesterton's going to have some time here to get the ball back and try to get something.
There were a lot of questions about Hobart coming into this season. You lost a lot of your offense from a season ago. Trey Gibson. You lose Noah Ehrlich to go to Crown Point. Johnny Sorensen comes in here. What is that going to do for the offense here at Hobart? A lot of questions were somewhat answered today, as this one is taken for a loss. Hayden DeMarco in on the tackle.
I mean, do you want to go, Josh?
That's not what you wanted if you're the Hobart Brickies. You want to be moving forward and putting a little pressure on the defense. Now you kind of let the defense kind of dictate what happens here now.
Worst case scenario, first down, I would say.
Loss of 6, pass out. Caldwell caught around the 20, makes the turn. Tries to cut, going to be taken out of bounds out around the 30-yard line. There wasn't much happening there, but DJ Caldwell, the senior, made something happen.
You got to stay in bounds there. You got to stay in bounds.
It's a big mistake to go out of bounds there because now Chesterton still doesn't need to burn their timeout. If they stop them right here, they're going to be able to burn their timeout and get the ball back with 2 minutes to go. So this is the game right here.
3rd down and 3. 2:17 to go. They're trying to get to the 34. They're on the 31. Sorensen spins, runs, gets ahead. He's right about that marker.
I think he got it.
And they do have him marked at the 33. They need to get to the 33, it looks like. The board had 3rd down and 3. They really only needed 2, and they did get it. So it's a first down with 2:10 to go.
That's a savvy play by Sorensen, too. He knew where he had to get to, and he made sure that he did.
Sorensen making plays happen with his legs. He's been fairly accurate with his arm tonight. That was one of the things I mentioned earlier. Coach Osika said he's getting better over the course of time. He's a senior, but he's getting better as a passer. And right there, a whole swarm of Trojans there to stop a Brickie right on the 30. And right now, I mean, you still have a timeout to go for the Trojans, so it's a matter of when do you want to use that. The loss of yardage is not helpful for the Brickies because you want to get a first down to try to milk this thing and win this thing out.
I mean, from the Chesterton perspective, you probably want to use your timeout as late as you possibly can, so you don't have to use it just yet. You can play defense here for 2 more plays and then try to, if you stop them, get them to punt on 4th with the clock stop. So
play clock down to 10, so still 10 seconds before, or about 9 seconds before we see the play. They do start it a little bit early. Loss of yardage.
I mean, big loss of yardage. You had 5 extra seconds there to run off. And
I say they started it early. Josh Davis in on the tackle there on Sorensen.
And you start looking now, there's going to be a potential punt here. And Chesterton's come close. Hobart has a long snapper that gets it back there pretty quick, being highly recruited, offers from Division I. So the accuracy of the snaps are good, quick with speed. So that plays a big factor into it. But, obviously Chesterton's going to have to go all out for a punt block.
I'm surprised they used the timeout right there, to be completely honest. I expected them to maybe let the clock run there and see if maybe, see if you get the stop and then use the timeout after that.
So you were looking to see maybe under a minute before?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why they did it this way. You're making Hobart potentially punt with the clock running. Maybe you get some confusion there, potentially. But I am a little surprised they used the timeout right there.
The ball sits on the 29-yard line. They're trying to get to the 44. It is 3rd down and 15 here with 1:11 to go.
Do you take a shot to Caldwell?
He's on the low side and near side of the field.
No.
They give for the run. Willie Shear back in the game, has room to run on the left side, gets the first down, out across midfield, up to the 40, cuts back to the right, gets past the blocker, up to the 25 before he goes down and stays in bounds.
Man, what a great play.
And that's your ball game.
Yep, yeah, that's the ball game.
What a play by Willie Shear. Get outside and savvy. He could have tried to be selfish there. That's a great play by a great kid, great athlete, just giving himself up and not avoiding contact. And sometimes players try to do too much and ball pops out.
We hadn't seen him in a minute, but comes back out and makes a big difference right there at the end.
He had been battling cramps the second half, and he gets in there and makes the game-winning play. I mean, and he showed his speed right there. He was running past everybody.
And that'll wind it down. And the Brickies are going to hold on and get the win, 16-13. There's still 17 seconds on the clock, but this one essentially is over. It was a 35-20 victory last season over in Chesterton. It was a rout. I mean, it was like 28-0 to start things up, and then tonight, Chesterton gets on the board first, but really the Brickies were the ones who come out on top 16-13, and when it comes to a team who made less mistakes, it was the Brickies tonight. I mean, that's kind of what it came down to in a lot of ways.
Exactly. I mean, it's less mistakes, and especially less mistakes in pivotal moments. Chesterton, they made too many errors in the biggest plays of this game to really win this game, especially when you've got a team on the other side that's just as good as them, if not better. You can't afford to make mistakes like that, and tonight they paid. It is the first game of the year. They're going to get this on tape, get back to the drawing board, but going forward, when they got Warsaw next week and then DAC play, they can't have mistakes like they had tonight.
Yeah, you talk about the first game of the season, and it's a non-conference game, and two good opponents battling it out on the gridiron. I think both teams learned a lot about who they are as a ball club. They learned a lot about the personnel, the play calling, and so on and so forth. So, there's not a loser in this game. There's a loser on the scoreboard, but both teams, as they start looking towards the season, you don't win sectional titles in game one, but you definitely can identify some things that you need to work on and some moving some players around. And so, while the score says Hobart is victorious, and obviously they'll take that, but the reality is on these non-conference games, you get to learn a lot about who you are as a ball club.
Yeah, and I say it's who made the fewest amount of mistakes. That's not to discredit the athletic ability that we've seen so far in this game. I mean, there were some big plays on both sides of the ball today for both teams. Really, it was impressive to watch both teams, and it was a fun one. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys, and we're going to step aside for just a moment. We got our awards to hand out. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Since opening their doors in 1905, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply has worked with Indiana homeowners and contractors to provide quality building materials. Today, Von Tobel Lumber and Supply proudly serves Indiana from their locations in Cherville, Valparaiso, Michigan City, and Lafayette. A department for every room in your home, from building support to bathroom kitchens and more. They can even help you design your next project. Visit VonTobels.com for more information. Von Tobel, building better together.
Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strachanvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back as Von Tobel Building Supply presents Game Night in the Region right here on the Region Sports Network. Von Tobel, your local building material supplier and design center. Visit VonTobel.com for more information. All right, I told you we have awards to hand out. We're going to do so right now. Let's take a look at our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, brought to you by the Crowell Companies. We're proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field.
The Crowell Company Lantern Man Insurance Superhero of the Game goes out to TJ Caldwell, wide receiver for the Hobart Brickies. He made some huge catches in some critical times. He came back, battled for the ball, was dynamic with the ball in his hands, and he also scored the first touchdown of the game on a beautiful post route. So he is our Crowell Company Lantern Man Insurance Superhero of the Game.
Perfect. All right, let's take a look at our Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. That came kind of late in the game off the boot of Xander Langford. It was a over 40-yard field goal, which ended up being the difference maker in this one, as it was a 3-point game. That field goal from long range, over 40 yards, to be able to put the Brickies ahead, made a huge difference in this one. That's why that's going to be our Proud Union Home Play of the Game. And then our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
Brady McCormick from the Chesterton Trojans, out there making plays, offense, defense, nearly willed his team to victory in the second half. They were getting nothing going on offense, and he just put the team on his back, was getting big carry after big carry, first down after first down. You could tell he was absolutely dead tired at the end of the game, but he still kept coming and coming, and I mean, what a great performance by him, albeit in a losing effort, but he did all he could to help his team win.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, like you said, really putting the team on his back and trying to will his team to a victory here tonight. Make sure you stay tuned, as Mike Jamia and Jack Thiel will have all coverage from today's games from around the region. They'll have highlights and scores from all over the region tonight from the Centier Bank studio, so make sure you tune in to them. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our operations manager is Rich Castillo. Video coordinator is Claude Martinez, and our sports director is Jack Thiel. Your broadcast crew tonight, myself, Michael Brenner, along with Josh Huddleston and Rick Novak. Gentlemen, a pleasure working with you here to open up the high school football season. Our producer today was Zach Zanelli. On video was Mike Dewan. Gentlemen, nice job tonight. navigating through some of our technical difficulties. You guys did an amazing job. Big thanks to Coach Peterson and Coach Osika, our coaches for Chesterton and Hobart, respectively. And then, of course, the athletic directors, Jeff Hamstra and Mike Black from Chesterton and Hobart, respectively, as well, for helping us get ready for the game, both the coaches and the ADs. And then, of course, you, the viewers, on YouTube, Facebook, Region Sports, and IHSAATV.com. Without all of you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So plenty of action coming your way the rest of the evening here to recap Week 1, and then we'll get you set for Week 2. It's already going to be here before you know it. You've been watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.